Shalom, called Yahabashim Yahushua Shalom to the elect. This video is about the real disclosure. Because they got that movie out that just came out recently called The Disclosure. I started watching some of it. It's actually a long movie, but I got to finish watching it to see what else they're talking about. But the real disclosure is, Esau not going to show you how the angelic beings really look. Everything they show and broadcast, they gotta fit their narrative. It gotta look like them, and if it don't look like them, it gotta look like some weird ass shit that only is cool with them. Only they evidently make it seem like they don't come communicate with none of our people, none of that. But that's Esau for you. That's the deceptive shit they like to play. But you got this guy right here talking about how the Lord look and all that. Even though in this picture on the right, there's not no actual depiction of how Yahweh Shah really looks. But they try to get close to it though. Because when you look at this picture right here, his hair is not like wool. It's almost like he got a damn silk press. But, Esau, they'll try to bring out some truth as well too. And they still have a little folly and fuckery mixed in with it. But when you read the scriptures, they talk about how the Lord looks. Talk about his feet looking like burnished brass or burnt brass. You got a lot of our people's feet look like that right now. This dark. Talk about his hair like wool, white like wool. Hey, you got a lot of our people that got white hair growing in. Voice sounding like many waters. The scripture also mentioned that if you see me, you see my Father. So if Yahweh shall look a certain way, then Yahweh look a certain way. And Esau don't want us knowing that, because that puts a certain frequency in your mind to make you carry yourself a certain way and make you maneuver a certain way, because you know that you come from the power. You ain't worrying about these damn heathens and none of that for real. So when you know your power, can't be stopped. And Esau know that. That's why they made sure they took crafty counsel, like I mentioned in the book of Psalms. They took crafty counsel and cut us off from being a nation, basically, and made sure our name was no more in remembrance. That's why people go around calling us this and that. Now you got niggas running around calling themselves the FBA. And niggas so silly, they don't even know that's some CIA psyop shit. You go around calling yourself the FBA, Foundation of Black America. Going around saying Pan-Africanism, all these other different terms and terminology and shit that Esau don't threw out so you can eat up. The whole time they distracting you and keeping you from knowing who you really are and knowing that you come from deep power. Yahshua Allah. I'm gonna let this video play and I'm gonna just pull a few presets and we're gonna end this up.
The Black Jesus story was probably one of the most shocking things I ever heard. It came from my insider, Jacob, I call him that in the book, who actually was working for the Rothschilds and still does, and also is a whistleblower who doesn't really do what they want but continues to work for them because he feels like there's some very serious extraterrestrial threats to Earth and that what they're doing is very necessary to protect us. So the story goes that in the 1960s, there was a black man in Africa who came in with abilities complementary to those of Jesus. And he was performing miracles. He was starting to get people to listen to what he had to say. And the cabal tried to...
Now, the one guy, I remember making a video about this. The one guy that he's mentioning, Simeon Toko, if I'm not mistaken. Now, you read the scriptures, it mentions how in these times that the power is going to come upon a certain man in the book of Acts. It mentions how these things that I do, you should do in greater in the scriptures as well. I want to say that's in the book of Mark, the book of Matthew, if I am mistaken. All this stuff, Esau is aware of. That's why they want to figure out what bloodline you come from, what's your blood type. They study you from your childhood over to your adulthood, all type of shit. They really want to know who the elect is because they know about the scriptures, about the saints. They even got a song on when the saints go marching in, or how I like to be of that number. Esau knew about that. They try to make the robots and the AI programs, the super soldiers and all this shit, to be able to try to help combat that too, because they think they're gonna be able to throw this off. Now, let me let this play just a little bit more, and I'm gonna pull these presets.
Kill him, and they could shoot him in the head, and his skull would just regenerate, and the flesh would grow back, and he was fine. And so the crazy story that I heard, which and remember, I was told at the time that if I disclosed this, that I would be killed, and I ended up putting it in the book anyway. The story was that this guy, they finally said, okay, we're going to bring you to the United Nations and share your message with the world. Let's get you on this flight. They bring him on this flight, and instead of bringing him to the United Nations, they shot him repeatedly, and then actually had some kind of meat grinder device.
And this is just a repeat, somewhat of the other video as well. So if you haven't seen that one, it was kind of just reiterating on it. And speaking about the real disclosure. Now the real disclosure is, you hear what they say, they took the guy, they tried to kill him, they want to put him in a meat grinder and spread his body parts and shit around the earth. This guy ended up coming back anyway, And there's nothing impossible with the Most High. It sounds far-fetched. But if Esau can clone meat in the lab and do all type of other shit, what more of the Most High making something happen? Now, let me get this preset right here. Let's see.